All right, Keon, we were just kidding around that this is the first episode that I've been on in, 2 episodes, but I feel like the last episode that I actually was on was well over a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly feels like that, and I think it actually might be that. I think it was over early December.
Yeah, and that was just me and Kyle, and then you and Kyle did an episode, just you guys, and now we're doing just you and me. This is like kind of it's giving like the final days of One Direction.
Yeah, we're refusing to all talk to each other when we're all in the same room.
Yeah, reports are that the SBS guys can't all be in the same room together, and that tensions are high, and the writing is on the wall. Nope. Well, actually, the reason Kyle isn't here, Kyle got married. Can you believe it?
Yeah, congratulations to Kyle and his lovely new bride,
dude. That shows that guys that do podcasts can actually pull women and get married.
Well, it hasn't happened to me and you yet, but maybe soon. But congratulations to Kyle and Marley on the big day, and all the best on their honeymoon and their life together.
Why would he choose to get married when UCLA basketball is in the middle, or they're on the cusp of really turning things around? I can't believe he's going to miss this. Can't wait to
we're right at the horizon right now.
Yeah, we got him right where we want him. This is 2019 all over again. This just means that a global pandemic's going to end a magical run. Keon, you went to the Rose Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe that you ran into and actually got to speak with one of the newer friends of UCLA football. Who might that be?
That would be head coach Cowboy Bob Chesney. Ross. Yeah, that was it was actually a really funny story. My first time going to the Rose Bowl game. I don't know why. I've obviously lived in LA my whole life.
That's weird and off-brand for you.
It is. But one of the sponsors of UCLA, they had some extra tickets that I was able to get a hold of, and I was able to be in the suite up there in the Terry Donahue Pavilion, and Coach Bob was coming and making the rounds, saying hi to all the sponsors. And I got to shake his hand. Firm handshake, man. Right off the bat, great eye contact, firm handshake.
How funny would it be if he walks up to you, he gives you just like a limp fish handshake? You're like, wait, what?
just like puts his hand out. Yeah. Like some girls, when you shake their hand, they just put their hand down with like the fingers facing down. But no, great handshake, great eye contact. I kind of explained. I didn't mention that I was a lowercase j journalist.
Why not? Why wouldn't you plug us? What the fuck are you doing?
Dude, I was surrounded by a certain athletic director.
You're joking. You were in the booth with him?
No, I'm being dead serious. I wasn't in the booth with him, but he was doing the rounds with Bob, obviously thanking all the athletic sponsors and everything. So he was there. I didn't want to bring up the name lest I get, banned for life from the Rose Bowl. We're one of the few fans that still show up. But anyway, I mentioned, I'm a big fan of UCLA, obviously alum, been going to games, ever since my whole life. Really looking forward to him, bringing new life into the program and into the Rose Bowl and all this stuff. And his response was very opposite of like coach speak to what you would hear to a fan. Like, not like, oh, we appreciate the support, all this stuff. He started diving into like, oh yeah, we have a lot of staff announcements coming up this week that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. We're deep in the transfer portal. We have our big board ready right as it opens, because I believe it wasn't open on January 1st.
It opened the next day on the 2nd.
Yeah, so he was mentioning like, oh yeah, we're ready to go. We have everything lined up, and how we're really excited about all the visits that are going to be happening throughout the week.
Did he tell you that?
Obviously, he didn't mention any names, but
did he tell you that this slow start is all part of a plan, and this is his strategy, and that we're just going to start slow and really bring it home on January 7th onward?
Yeah, well, he didn't get that specific, but I'm hoping that's the part he kept confidential.
But he kind of gave you that look in his eyes, right?
I saw it exactly. We had that connection during the final handshake and everything, when I was like, "Thanks for your time, coach," and all this stuff.
He just gave me a little. He just yanks your hand in, whispers in your ear,
whispered in my
January
ear.
7th. Everything else
Make sure
before
you turn on your tweet notifications.
And yes, I'm coming on the podcast. But that's sick, though, dude. You're the first of the show to meet Cowboy Bob. Giddy up. And that's cool. I'm not surprised to hear that he was very personable. If the the press conference was any indication that I spent the whole episode fawning over, then yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. But speaking of that, I do want to talk about the first couple days. I mean, I consider yesterday the 5th and today the 6th to be kind of the first 2 days of, real transfer portal stuff, because you have that first weekend to, host guys on visits, which UCLA did plenty of reports where there's about 20 guys on campus that were around for visits. And I mean, it's been kind of a tale of 2 days, right? Like Monday morning we wake up and just kind of right off the bat, we've got like 5 or it might have been like 6 signed commits kind of to start the day. But then more excitingly was news that there were 3 crystal ball predictions by, I think it's 24/7's guy, Huffman. He's kind of the recruiting expert, Brandon Huffman. There was Hall Schmidt, the tackle from Boise State, Aiden Mizell, kind of a speedster wideout from Florida, and then Dorian Thomas, a tight end from New Mexico, who was ranked as the 5th best tight end in the portal, led the group of 5 in tight end receptions and receiving yards, and was watching some of his tape. Kind of reminded me of like a shorter but more athletic, like Joseph Fourier, for those that remember Big Joe. Oh, by the way, of those 3, Hall Schmidt, he has since signed. He's official. He's with UCLA. But then Tuesday comes, and so we had let's call it 6 that signed on Monday. Yeah. And things kind of start to slow. I think today it's Tuesday, it's 8:16 p.m. We're releasing this on Wednesday morning. Basically close with Tuesday with just 2 signed players, both of them from JMU, both of them 3 stars, as was, I believe, everybody from the previous day on Monday, all 3-star guys. But more disastrously, Dorian Thomas, the tight end that was a 100% crystal ball prediction from the experts going to UCLA. I mean, dude, there were discussions on the Twitterverse that this is a done deal. We're just waiting for the guy's announcement that he's choosing to make on Wednesday, and he's going to fucking Cal. Announced like 2 hours ago before we started recording that he is going to Cal, and there's been no news on Mizell, the Florida receiver, since Monday. So I don't know where that one sits. The crystal ball still says 100%. Who even really gives a shit what that means at this point? But this one stings harder for me, like kind of a recruiting whiff, than that I can recall. Just because the vibes were high Monday morning. The recruits were coming in. There weren't any crown jewels, but it was positions of need. We got a tackle. We had crystal ball stuff of real high quality guys. I think we were in the top 20 to kind of start the day. And then since then, a bunch of misses and no real crown jewels yet. And I wouldn't be this kind of affected by it. I don't want to kind of hold him to it, but it was Bob Myers, man. I mean, it was just, he had me so, it's shame on me for kind of buying in and believing it. I think, what do you say? We're going to be the top quartile of Big Ten NIL. Yeah. You'd have to think that we'd be able to beat out Cal for a tight end that looked like we were nearing completing a deal for. So it's just, we're wrapping up Tuesday, and it's not where I'd want to be to wrap up the second day.
Yeah, I mean, some of the commits we've gotten, especially the 2 that we got today, are kind of, I don't want to say the expected ones, but we expected kind of an exodus from JMU to UCLA that were going to come with this coaching staff and Coach Bob and all these folks who are coming over. So they're not really surprising, obviously not splash signings, but you mentioned, Dorian Thomas. That's a bummer, big bummer. I feel like UCLA, in its height when the offense was rolling, in kind of those pseudo-good chip years, it was always, and even the Mora years, you always kind of had that tight end bailout for the quarterbacks. Yeah. And I think that's really been missing the last couple of years. No Greg Dulcich, that can just kind of rumble and tumble for like 14 yards.
And you'd have to think, we haven't seen Nico with a tight end that can really kind of catch the ball and get open in any capacity. Granted, it's been 1 year, but UCLA didn't have that in its tight end room last year. It just didn't. And now both of those guys are gone. So, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not a big loss. And look, is it too early to panic? Yeah, but is it too early for UCLA fans to be concerned? No. I think it's important for UCLA fans to remember that, like, it's okay for good things to happen, more than once. We got a good coach. That was great. I'm still really happy about it. I still think that we got the best guy this coaching carousel. I truly do believe that. But, like, would it have been okay for UCLA to, on top of getting that coach, come out of the gates this week and pick up 3 4-star guys like its direct counterpart in Berkeley is doing right now? Yeah. Like, that could have happened. And that's kind of what I thought would happen. Just kind of what we were hearing about NIL and kind of the momentum that we have in place. But it felt like we would see more after a couple of days. Again, we still have, I think, over 10 days left in the transfer portal, so plenty of time to turn this around. But today was it was a punch. It was a whole punch in the sail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a couple other JMU guys who I was really hoping would come out of the program and end up coming to UCLA, and neither of those have happened yet. Either Landon Ellis, the wide receiver, that I would love to see in blue and gold, especially after the departure of Quasi Gilmer, and then also the
Sahir West.
DB? Sahir West.
Sahir West is kind of the elephant in the room here, and that's, I should have mentioned, that's like another, I think, like, reason for my anxiety and a lot of UCLA fans kind of concern right now is, like, yeah, you mentioned earlier, Keon, we're seeing the influx of those 3-star JMU guys that, you kind of expect to come with the coach, and it's just low-hanging fruit. But where's Ellis? Where's Sahir West? Where is Wayne Knight, the running back? Mm-hmm. The guys that you think would be our first conversation and where we're going to really start to dedicate some of this NIL to. I mean, especially a guy like West, because UCLA, when you look at them the last 2 seasons, it's pretty easy to identify positions of need. And I think even more so than left tackle in protecting Nico.
Edge rusher.
But I'm just going to say that's not as important as getting an edge. UCLA, the last 2 years, it's pass rush. I bitched about this so much, dude. Its pass rush has, like, been the most insulting thing to come out of this era. It's just unacceptable. I think they were last in getting to the quarterback.
For a program that's produced excellent pass rushers over the last 15 years.
Dude, this came the season after the departure of
Carson Schlesinger's about to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was there during the apocalypse started. This was coming off of the year where we saw the departure of Latu, the Murphy twins. Even Carl Jones was good. I don't know if he's still in the league, but good college player. I mean, last year, Carl Jones would have been hands down the best edge rusher that UCLA would have had. Yes. I want to say the player tied for most sacks on UCLA, it was like 1.5. Mm-hmm. 1.5 sacks was the most sacks a UCLA edge rusher or any UCLA defender got last season. That's hideous. So, yeah, I mean, a guy like Sahir West, we could still get him. I think just kind of it's been a bit silent, and I feel like the longer this drags on and the more things kind of progress with radio silence from his end, I don't think that bodes well for UCLA, given that we've got his head coach from last year. This is the way I see it.
I agree. And I think those are the necessary things that we kind of all expected. Remember when we were watching them in the what was it, the Sun Belt Championship?
Yep.
And then again in the playoff game in Oregon. I mean, these pieces are great. The O-line is definitely something we needed to beef up this offseason, in my opinion, and giving protection to Nico, who committed to coming back, which we didn't talk about this. This kind of got forgotten, but a lot of props to Nico for deciding to come back. Just in general, I mean,
okay, yes, but did you see the news that came out like an hour? Don't be scared. This isn't about Nico. But I just saw your eyes kind of glaze over.
I was just like, wait a second.
He transferred. Bro. He's going to SC. He's going to take the backup spot for Longstreet, who's out of there. No, is it Demon Williams?
Oh,
Washington's quarterback. He said at LSU for like, I want to say like $6 million or something. And now,
and that was after he committed, right?
Yeah, like 4 days ago, he re-signed and they had a whole agreement in place, and now he's leaving. I mean, that's what I'm like, dude. Nothing.
Are you saying it could all be bullshit?
Oh, I mean, Nico could leave tomorrow. I mean, if this is what is possible in our own conference, at this level. I mean, he's going to LSU for $6 million. And now Jedd Fisch is trying to, I think they're taking legal action, which is crazy. I think they're not trying to, sue LSU. I think what they're trying to do is, pursue legal action to force Williams to play football at Washington, which is that's a terrible idea. Could you imagine trying to get a guy to buy into your locker room that you had to legit put in a gold helmet at gunpoint?
Yeah, and who you're already probably committing to pay, maybe $4 million.
Yeah, then you got to pay. You got to pay him anyways. Fuck this guy. I'd almost. Yeah, that's kind of what I was just getting at. Is that we got Nico back, but will we have him back tomorrow?
Sure.
But the
state of college football is absurd right now, Ross.
Could you imagine we put this episode out at 8 a.m. and then 9 a.m. Nico's gone and we're like, okay, just delete it. Just fucking delete it. No one's going to listen to this shit. We do run the risk by covering a team in today's college football. This whole program can be turned on its head in a matter of 30 minutes. And, we could get to hear West tomorrow at 10 a.m.
And the funny thing is, Mateen Bagani entered the transfer portal and then just decided to come back.
Speaking of players that are coming back, big retention is Eugene Brooks. That can't be understated enough. Is that overstated? Overstated. That can't be overstated enough. Eugene Brooks is coming back. I think that was announced last week. I would say he was by far UCLA's best receiver on a bad offensive line last year, but kind of the lone bright spot there. And that kind of makes me want to bring up some of the guys that UCLA got in the portal. It's not all fucking doom and gloom. There are some bright spots to look at. Maybe my kind of top guy that we've gotten so far is guard Riley Rebel, which I think will actually kind of make up kind of a formidable guard duo with Brooks and Rebel. He's 6'3", 291. Not really the biggest of lineman builds that you'll see, especially at guard, but I had the chance to kind of go on YouTube and watch some of his snaps in the Oregon playoff game. He's undersized, but he moves really well. He's athletic. The guy,
able to cover.
Yeah, he can get down the field on screens. He pulls well. And as someone that sat through and suffered through the Alani Makahile experiment of 2 years ago, if there's one thing I've learned, let's not mistake size for talent on the offensive line. This is a guy that we can beef up within reason, I think. And he can retain his athleticism and he can move around. He can pull. He can be active on screens. He can just move laterally with guys that he's engaged with. So I think he's a guy that I'd recommend people go and look at. I think he's starting material. I think he might have been I think he was PFF's top rated group of 5 lineman, or maybe in his conference. I don't really remember, but get to know Riley Rebel. I think he's going to be a solid pickup for UCLA. We did get the Boise State tackle. Hall Schmidt was his name.
Schmidt, yep.
Yeah, he was one of the crystal ball guys. I think he's gotten a bit more coverage and a bit more hype than Rebel. I don't fully agree with that. I just think because Boise State's a bigger name. He was on the offensive line that blocked for Ash and Genty. They went to the playoff and played Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. I went back and watched all of his snaps in that Fiesta Bowl. I mean, look, he started on a playoff team. That's great. He's big. He's got good size. He's not particularly fast or athletic. And kind of the point I was just making before this was I want guys that can move. And I'm sure, everyone does. You don't just want guys that are just big for the sake of being big. And he's obviously playable. He's, it's a pickup. It's a quality body. But I think I'd like to see more talent at the tackle positions, especially at the tackle positions. So, I would just like to hope that there's more targets down the road at right tackle and left tackle. He played right tackle for Boise State, but I also did notice that he was listed as the starter for I think all games that season, but he was trading full series with another lineman. He'd be pulled for entire drives, and I think he didn't play the last 5 minutes, last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. So I'm not trying to deflate the hype of recruits, but I just think it's important to look at this realistically and really understand what we're getting.
Of course. And we've also picked up a few players in the secondary as well, which I think we were at risk of losing quite some depth when the transfer window or the transfer portal opened. I know we got Iowa State, Tayshaun James, safety. 22 games for Iowa State over the last 2 years. He'll have 2 seasons remaining. These are just depth guys who can come in and start. He's a 3-star according to 247. But it's this group that needs to really get beefed up, this defense, because I think we did such a poor job outside of, I think it was just John Vaughns, the linebacker, who's also a baseball player, of tackling. Anything to really try to refresh this defense, in my opinion, is a good sign.
Yeah, and then there was the pickup today. It was a nickelback from JMU. I know we kind of mentioned him earlier. DJ Barksdale, another undersized guy, kind of really bunch of gutty little Bruins so far. But, I mean, we've had small. I mean, DBs, I think there can be a misconception that these guys got to be huge. I mean, look at, take for example, who was that one nickelback we had 2 years ago in the 2024 season? Fuck, what was his name? He was a transfer from, it was KJ Wallace.
From Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, KJ Wallace, what was his size? Because this new guy, I want to say, is like 5'9".
5'10", 185.
Okay, well, this new guy's like 5'9", 185. I think he is exactly 185. So, I mean, I don't mean to say the sky's falling when I was kind of bitching about the class earlier. If there's one coach that I can trust to do more with less, it's going to be Bob Chesney. He made Holy Cross a good football program. He took JMU to the playoffs. Now he's at UCLA. He's won everywhere he's been. If there's anything that we've learned from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in Indiana, it's that matters. So, I think let's ride this out. Let's see how the rest of this transfer portal window goes. I think there's still a chance to pick up some big guys. Let's hope for a big Wednesday. But lick our wounds tonight because the loss of Dorian Thomas sucked. But I still have faith, man. I think we got a really good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just quickly, as we look over to Wednesday, one guy I want everybody to keep an eye out on is the San Jose State wide receiver, Kyrie Scholes. He's a JUCO prospect, so he's a little bit on the older side. He only has 1 season remaining, but he was a really big part of the San Jose State wide receiver core that he kind of got outshined by Scudero, who I think was the leading wide receiver in the country. And I know he canceled a couple of visits.
I mean, I'd like to see UCLA pick up 4 playable receivers, at least 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you need multiple. You want a tight end that can catch. The tight end that we picked up today from JMU, big dude, played a lot, but he's a run blocker. He's a blocking tight end. You gotta kind of have those quarterback best friend guys on third downs, red zone guys. So there's a lot of work to be done at the skill positions. You'd like to see another running back come in.
Definitely.
We got Carson Cox coming back. I mean, there's still guys out there. So let's hold out hope. And maybe we have to do an emergency episode Thursday, Friday to recap us picking up some blue chips. Do you want to make mention of basketball or?
Yeah, let's just briefly, because there isn't much to talk about on Mick Cronin's side right now, outside of maybe Mick Cronin hot seat for sure. I'm seeing Kyle tweet from his honeymoon, so I'm sure Marley's thrilled about that. How the Mick Cronin era in Westwood might be coming to a close soon. I mean, back-to-back losses. Bad losses too. If
Ugly,
you ask me,
just
Ross.
like fucking hard to watch losses, man. Like you can't just lose the viewer's interest immediately off the bat. Going down 20 fucking immediately, dude. Like, how do you expect people to continue watching this team?
Yeah, exactly. It was the same show that was on Iowa versus Iowa on Saturday. It was the same thing we saw against Wisconsin tonight, which is you dig yourself in a big hole early on in the first half, and then you finally decide to wake up and you kind of make a game out of it at like the 10-minute remaining mark, but you've essentially fucked yourself so hard earlier that it's sometimes too big of a hill to climb. And Donovan Dent is not as advertised.
No. He can't defend. He doesn't score well. No. I mean, he'll put together a half. Okay, well there it is. But I mean,
we were hoping, beginning of the season, All-American guard.
Preseason All-American is what we were thinking.
Yeah.
We're not getting a quarter of that.
No, he's not even going to be a all-conference player.
Dude, is UCLA even a tournament team?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, Ross, what do you think the best case scenario? I don't think a ceiling. I think is a round of 32 exit again.
Best case scenario, dude, is first four to the final four.
Right.
I mean, that's the only way we're going to make it.
Yeah.
Fucking straight up. I mean, Iowa and Wisconsin. I mean, I know Iowa was 24th. Wisconsin's pretty mid. These guys aren't winning the Big Ten, and we're getting absolutely blown off the court. Making a little first 10 minutes of the second half run and make it interesting. That's not selling me on anything. They're getting spanked. They can't defend the arc. Teams are always lights out from three against us. It's just like
and is everybody getting lucky, or is it something to do with the coaching and the scheme, the defensive scheming? So
they can't keep shooting like this. They always keep shooting like it against us.
Exactly.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing that. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, man, where it was kind of like with Jim, with football. Mm-hmm. You hate to see it happen to that guy because Mick's been great and respects the job unlike anybody else, and he cares. And I think he's deserved a lot more from our fans over the years in terms of showing up and being passionate and supporting him, whether it be through NIL or for just fucking going to Paulie and going to games. But it's just... I mean, unless we see literally one of the most remarkable midseason turnarounds, kind of like what we saw in 2019, but even more so this time, because it's just bad. The team looks bad, and I think right now the way the team looks, they're not going to make the tournament.
I agree. I think we're going to be maybe a second round or third round exit in the Big Ten tournament, fighting for those bubble spots. I think we're because we don't have any wins. Like, we haven't beaten anybody.
Yeah, not a single win.
That's the problem.
They played Arizona tough. The Arizona game, that's kind of the most frustrating part because Arizona right now, undefeated, number one team in the country, absolutely dominant, beating the shit out of people on the road. I hate to see that happen, but that's just the reality. And UCLA, that was their game to lose. So it's just like, what's happening? Because clearly the team has something there.
Yeah, but you beat Presbyterian by 40. Cool.
Yeah, but you had Arizona on the ropes. You had them.
Exactly.
And that team
played Gonzaga tough.
Play Gonzaga tough. It's just fucking. I don't get it, but I'm kind of tired of not getting it. I want to start getting it. I want the team to be good and win consistently, and not just. And I'm tired of when we win games. It's blow a 20-point lead and escape. Like, it's just not fun. Sorry, it's not fun to watch UCLA basketball anymore because the wins are hard to watch. The losses are like we're immediately down by double figures. It's not doing us any favors in getting the fan base back in the building, and it's just not good. And I don't see a way that this can be turned around.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Speaking about being in the building. Speaking about. Being in Pauley.
Well, if you guys need a reason to go in the building and go to a basketball game, this Saturday we are bringing back the SBS fan section. Last time we did it, I think we sold a little over 40 seats. Yep. All seats are 50% off of the face value that you would normally find them on UCLAbruins.com.
Yeah. The CTO.
Yep, central
Is that
ticket
CTO
off.
Still a thing? Yeah.
Who fucking knows? But just know these tickets are 50% off if you buy them through the link in the SBS Instagram bio. So get them there. We are behind the basket at the top of that lower bowl section. So this is a place where you can stand and no one's going to tell you to sit down. That's the whole point of this. It's for the most passionate fans in the building to kind of congregate and be together and have fun. The game is at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. And our plan right now, this is the plan. We're getting to Rocco's at 3 p.m. It's kind of our rallying point, and then we'll walk up together. That part is obviously optional. We won't take your ticket if you don't, but we'd love for you to come, grab a beer with us, hang out, get our minds right, and who knows, could be the game that we turn this thing around. But I think it's important for us to not just look. I would be a bandwagon if I just stopped going to games. You got to keep going to games, man. Even when the team fucking sucks. Yeah. You can't just have the guys playing in an empty arena. I'm going to go. Keon's going. Let's try to fill these things. Get your ticket now. It's 50% off. No promo code needed. Just rip it off the bio or the link in our bio. And
I'll put it down in the episode description as well.
Yeah. And that'll be that. But, a bit of a tougher episode. But things can change in a dime. And give us a week. We might be changing our tune. So until then, keep monitoring the situation on Twitter. Stay up to date. Keep reading your shit. And we'll catch you next time, hopefully next Wednesday. Cool.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you later.